After motherhood, my 30s, things have changed. Duh. Hey loves, welcome back. So in this video, we're just gonna be having a chill chit chat, and we're gonna be talking about life in our 30s, and we're gonna be talking about expectations, experiences, what it's been like, fear, shame, all of that and more. So if you're interested, stick around and let's get right into this video. It's so wild to say that I'm officially in the 30s. I'm now 30. I turned 30 last year, November, and it feels so cool. I don't know why. But if you had asked me a couple of years back, this was a specific age that I dreaded so much. And I dreaded it a lot because of societal expectations and societal pressure. If you're a woman, you already know that there is a lot of pressure on us, especially when it comes to the clock, the age, both biological, both financial, and both marital as well, right? I feel like it's like a triangle. If you're a woman, you're kind of like stuck in this triangle of, finance, of marriage, and then children, right? And society expects you to hit all these angles perfectly, and you're just in the middle. Society also expects us to have our life figured out at 30 or before 30, and basically if you're 30 years old and you don't know what you're doing in your life, you're basically a waste and useless. And I'm here to tell you that I am 30 and I'm still figuring out life. I feel like for anyone who is 100% certain of what they want to be like in 90 years, 80 years, kudos to you. But at this point in my life, I'm not even certain of what I want my life to look like 100% at 35, at 40, because every single day my perspectives, my experiences, my expectations changes, right? And it changes with life, with what I experience, with what I see, with what I learn on a daily. I've said this a couple of times. Before I got married, before I even had children, my expectations of life are totally on the flip side, totally different from my expectation of life right now. So I feel like everyone low-key is figuring life out at different paces and spaces. And if you're someone who thinks, oh, you know what, you see things from the outside and you're thinking like, oh, that person from the inside has everything figured out. No, honey, I don't think there's anyone who has life figured out 100%. We're all in this trial phase. We're all in a trial phase. We're trying things out, whether we're trying out school, whether we're trying out a course, whether we're trying out a relationship, if it's a marriage, we're trying out motherhood for the first time. And we learn on the go, we discover things on the go, we unlearn as well, and we just leave. Something I always tell myself is, as long as you are alive, there is more to live for. For the longest time, especially after I clocked 30, for the longest time, I felt like I'm kind of falling behind in terms of where I ought to be. And sometimes I kind of start thinking to someone else, I'm way ahead. I feel like when you clock 30 or you clock a milestone age, there's a heavy reflection of what your life has been like, what your life is like, and what your life should be like, or what your expectations were. And for a while, I feel like I have been falling behind, and it got me thinking, because sometimes we forget that we are exactly where we are supposed to be, whether it's in a location, it's a space. You are there for a specific reason, and you're experiencing what you're experiencing because you're supposed to experience it, and you're where you are at a specific time, at a specific age, because that is where you're supposed to be. And it's so awesome because God is so awesome. And sometimes we kind of get lost in this comparison. I do it a lot, and I know that you do it a lot. Being able to admit it and accept it and move past it is the first step of growth, right? Sometimes you compare yourself to A, B, C, D, and you see the things you're doing, and you're doing amazing. And you're like, hey, what about me? And after having kids, I'm not even gonna lie, right? It felt like my life was on pause. And I said something previously. I am where I'm supposed to be because that is where I'm supposed to be. I can't even imagine my life existing without my kids. It is that crazy. And I was supposed to experience that because that was supposed to be my life experience. And I'm still experiencing it. I'm so grateful for it, because with life, you have phases and spaces that you're going to occupy in those phases. And this phase that I'm occupying now, it might seem a little bit slow compared to someone else's life, but that slow movement is so undervalued that I'm cherishing. I'm taking every day, every second to cherish it, because 10 years from now, things are going to change. My life stage and phase is going to change, because then my kids will have grown up, and then I can focus heavily on, work and all of that. But like I said, I am in a space and in this phase because this is where I'm supposed to be. So if you're someone who is lost in a thought of comparison, in a thought of, this person is doing it this way, this person is, growing so fast, this person is, doing this thing, and you're just here, trust me, I know what it feels like to think that way. But I'm just gonna leave this with you thinking, knowing that that thing that you think is holding you down, or is pulsing you down, or is keeping you on a slower pace, is supposed to do what it's supposed to do. That is where you're supposed to be. Enjoy that phase, live in that phase, and enjoy every single moment. So I feel like at 30, society puts a lot of pressure on you to have everything figured out. Your teens are for you to be stupid, but not too stupid that you lose yourself in stupidity. Your 20s are for you to try things out and to be yourself and to explore the world and what is around you. Your 30 is a phase where you kind of pick things up and start moving. You might have played around in your teens, you might have tried things around in your 20s, but your 30s is pretty much like you've discovered who you are grown, you are more independent, you are more assertive, you are more confident. I feel like how I am now is so different from how I was 5-6 years ago, and it does come with age. It comes with experience and knowledge as well. When I was 15, 16, I wanted to do things that 20-year-olds were doing, and at 20-year-old I did it, and then it kind of felt underwhelming, like, okay, is this everything this has to offer? And I wanted more, and then we wanted bigger dreams, we wanted bigger things, we wanted grown women aspirations. And now, like, it keeps getting bigger and also keeps getting harder. So one thing I would tell you is, whether you're in your 20s, whether you're in your 30s, whether you're in your teens, enjoy every single day, every single year, and cherish it like you're going to miss it when it's done, because you are. I'm in my 30s, but sometimes I wish I was in my teens. I wish I was like 15. I wouldn't have bills to pay, like I wouldn't have responsibilities. But I'm just gonna tell you, wherever you are, whatever age you're at, treat it like it's gold, and it's something you're gonna lose, and you're gonna lose forever. So if you're in your 15, if you're in your teens, treat that phase like you're gonna lose it forever, because you will lose it forever after a couple of years. If you're in your 20s, take advantage of it. Use 20s to discover who you are, what you can offer, and the things you can do. Figure out what your weaknesses are and work on them, because 20s for me it's like a year for you to explore and discover. Those two words mean so many things, right? You can discover the world, discover who you are, discover what you like, discover things around you, explore options, try out jobs, try out different companies, find out what works for you and not what society says should work for you. Figure out who you are before you put yourself in a permanent situation that you can't get out of. Because I find that now in your 20s, there's still a lot of pressure because society expects you to have a good job, like I said, the triangle: finance, good job, marriage, get a good husband, and then children, right? But you need to understand that with this triangle, you can have it all. Amazing. You can have just one, you can have just two, or you can have more, right? But regardless, I always say this thing: God will only give you what you can handle. God somewhere is sharing things for everyone, and he's like, oh, Kelechi, this is what you need and not what you think you want. I'm giving you what you need. You want 5 children? You want 10 children? I don't want 10 children, by the way. But he's like, you think you want this? Take this. This is all you're gonna need, because this is what will give you true purpose. I remember thinking back then, like, I wanted 5 kids. My goodness, I can't even survive the 2 that I have. I remember thinking I wanted 5 kids, and the economy then was good, was decent. Now it is something else, I tell you. it is something else. But we're grateful for what we have. Maybe we'll grow in the future, but what I thought I wanted isn't what God knows that I need. So at every specific time in my life, every specific age in my life, whether or not I am where I thought I'm supposed to be, I need to understand that this is who I am and this is where I'm supposed to be. And the fact that I'm alive, I'm so grateful and I'm so appreciative. However, if I want this, maybe we could work harder. Maybe we could do things this way. Maybe we could try out this thing. But if it doesn't come to you naturally, when I say naturally, I mean not just you laying down in bed doing nothing. I mean you actually pursuing something and letting, the universe bring that thing closer to you. So whether you are trying to grow or start a business, you need to actively, do it. You need to actively show up and, be there. So if you're doing that and it doesn't naturally come to you, then it's not supposed to be yours. And I keep saying that a lot to my husband and to myself as well. Sometimes you're pushing for something and it feels like the more you're pushing for it, the more the thing you're pushing for keeps going away. It makes sense that God or the universe it's like putting magnets, right? You're putting a magnet on, I think it's opposite sides. It's almost impossible for the magnets to kind of like, clap together. It always repels, right? And that is how it is. Sometimes you're pushing for something, you want something, and the more you push for it, the further that thing goes away from you. And sometimes I just let it be, because it's more or less like it's not supposed to be yours. You're forcing what is not supposed to be yours, and you're going in a direction that might derail you, And at the end of the day, everything work out for your good. Just be grateful, enjoy it, enjoy life, and see how it goes, right? So something that I'm currently struggling with is just honestly balancing life. And in my life, there are different branches. There's marriage, there's me, there's children, there is, work as well, and other things, right? I don't think there's a masterclass or a script or a manuscript for balancing all this, but I believe that every single day, the more intentional you are about giving your best to all these branches, the more you are closer to perfecting it, right? So I'm in my life perfection journey, a journey whereby I'm trying to balance all the branches of my life in a way that they can all synchronize and become like a very balanced wheel, and like we can all move in synergy. Motherhood, work, marriage, Kelechi, as my own person, can all work together and all have equal parts of ourselves and all be fulfilled and happy. That is the goal. So I'm currently struggling with my, I want to say let's put it under health and wellness. I'm struggling with my wealth and wellness. Wealth and wellness. Health and wellness. Yes. I'm struggling with that in the sense that I'm struggling to find a balance between, feeling like myself, because now after motherhood, my 30s, things have changed. Duh. If you are a mom and you don't take care of yourself, I don't know how you're surviving, because I don't need anything, just self-care. Just a time where I can spend time by myself, with myself, taking care of myself. It is so underestimated, but the difference it changes in your motherhood battery level. It revives you, it revamps you, it affirms you. If you're a mom, definitely take time for yourself, because when you take out that time, it's like you're refueling yourself, you're recharging yourself, and it makes you give more to the people around you and to the people that need you. So yeah, that's an aspect of my life that I'm currently trying to build on and level on and grow on. So self-care is going to be something we're going to go heavy on this year, all of that and more. But yeah, I just felt like coming on here and having like a sisterly, motherly conversation with you guys on here, because you already know that I love talking about life experiences and all that. I remember I used to talk about like marriage, but I kind of stopped it because I saw a lot of people doing it. I still see a lot of people doing like personal growth, which is amazing. But whenever I share tips about like marriage, about motherhood, about anything in general, I always say apply, like I always give like a disclaimer, like it's not going to work for you 100%, right? I'm not advising you to do this and this, but this is what has worked for me, right? And the fact that it worked for me, it means that there might be something right about it, right? So sometimes when I take advice from people, I watch like podcasts, I watch content, I like to see the gray area. I don't like to be too subjective. I like to be very objective with what I analyze, what I see, and what I see, So the things that would work for me might not work for you. So I might go back to like marriage talks and relationships and all that good stuff. Let me know if you guys would be interested in it. Let me know. But yeah, that's just where we're at right now. I'm in this phase whereby I'm growing and I'm still struggling with myself, but hey, that's life for you. I'm not scared to admit it. And there is so much strength in vulnerability. And this age has taught me so much, because now I have to be vulnerable, because I want to teach my kids that level of empathy and strength as well. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. But yeah, today I told myself I was gonna wake up, get ready, make up, do my hair, sit down and talk. And the only thing that comes naturally to me are things that I've experienced and my life and growth and sharing tips with you guys. So that's why we did this video, and it's just like a way for me to reflect on my life, where we've been, where we're at, and to be grateful for everything in between. And I'm so grateful. So to everyone watching this, I wish you the best, the very best, and have an amazing day, have an amazing year, whatever year you're at. Happy birthday in areas, happy birthday in advance, happy birthday, it was your birthday today. Know that this year is a year that God has made, and that you are this year because you're supposed to be this age, and wherever you are is where you're supposed to be, and wherever you're going is where you will be. So all the best, leave the rest, and have an amazing day. Bye guys.